In Britain today, what were once luxuries are fast becoming everyday items.
I don't think of them as being luxuries, they're more my essentials.
From our electrical gadgets to our leather shoes, as we consume more and more, these products become increasingly disposable.
I buy shoes every 3 weeks, and what happens with the old shoes? I throw them away.
But would we care more if we knew the human cost of making our luxuries?
I never feel guilty at all about spending as much money as I do. You know, I've earned this money, so therefore it's my right to spend it.
Over the next 5 weeks, 6 young British consumers will travel to Africa and Asia to live and work alongside the people who mine,
oh my word,
manufacture,
It's going to be a barrel of laughs.
and recycle our luxury goods.
It's just weird, man.
They are high-flying student Alexandria,
I don't think about where these luxuries come from when I buy them. But then again, maybe I just don't notice because I don't care.
part-time model and high-end shop worker Oscar,
Working in Harrods gives me a feeling of prestige. That's definitely a sense of luxury in my life.
Sussex lad James,
My luxury is definitely, I think, give me a bit of an edge with putting the ladies.
There's a hottie right there.
Geordie lass Sam,
I'm quite a big one for the necklaces. I love my shoes. You know, if I see Cheryl Cole wearing something, I'll be like, right, I've got to go and get something like that.
trainer fanatic George,
I'm a bit of a sneaker freak. Like, the most pairs of trainers I bought in a day is like 4 pairs. These are my favourites. Give them a little lick.
and high-end luxury lover Lucy.
having my luxuries makes me feel like a celebrity. If I've asked for something, I've always got it.
These 6 young Brits will discover how third world workers get sapphires, trainers, coffee, gold and MP3 players to our high streets from thousands of miles away.
They can't walk away from this. If they walked out, then what are they going to do? Starve to death?
And they'll find out how the West sends its unwanted goods to Africa.
He's risking his own life every single day at the age of 9.
Last week, the group travelled to the sapphire mines of remote southern Madagascar.
Whoa, man. A little bit lost for words. It's massive. It's like huge.
They worked in the vast open pits,
It's like torture. It's actually like torture.
descended to the very lowest level of sapphire mining, and found out who's really making the money in the international jewellery business.
The miners are definitely getting the rough end of the deal here. It's really not fair.
Tonight, the Brits will discover the true cost of our leather handbags, jackets and shoes.
Why should I have other people breaking their backs and dealing with this sort of shit so I can get a nice handbag at the end of it?
They'll travel to one of Africa's poorest countries, Ethiopia, to live and work alongside the people who depend on the leather industry for survival.
The worst thing is that she's not the only one, she's not a special case.
The pressure on the Brits is mounting as they join the workforces at the abattoirs,
I just really, really don't want to be here at all.
tanneries
So I made a mistake. I thought that I could handle it, and I can't.
and shoe factories.
I've got to do like 200 an hour, otherwise I'm out of my arse without a job.
Will the mental and physical challenges break the group?
Being a lazy shite.
You're standing around doing nothing. You're complaining about everything.
Oh God, you're actually just so unpleasant.
And how will the journey from abattoir to factory change their feelings about the shoes and bags they buy?
Everyone we've met so far has had no choice, and nor does it look like they're ever going to have a choice.
Oh my God, this is Ethiopia, guys. This is Ethiopia. Oh my God.
Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. These 6 young Brits are about to find out where much of the leather that goes into our handbags, jackets and trainers start out. The leather production process begins at the abattoir.
Christian Slaughter Hall.
Hello.
Nice to meet you, okay?
I'm George.
Hello, Amani.
The Brits will be working under the supervision of abattoir boss Aman Jabir.
This abattoir is the largest abattoir in Ethiopia. The capacity of the slaughterhouse is about 2,000 animals a day.
Wow, Jesus.
You are wearing leather.
Yes?
This leather is very expensive. It starts to process from this side.
Yep.
Okay? You have to do properly this job. You have to prepare psychologically and physically to do.
Okay, I'm getting
Yeah, now.
So this is for you.
All the Brits prepare for work, except for vegan Oscar.
I'm not going. I don't have hardly any ethics. The only ethics I have is if something wants to live, let it live.
Now we go to hide preparation section. So follow me.
Workers bring the cows in for slaughter. This is where many of our handbags and shoes begin. The meat is shipped out to the city's butchers. The abattoir workers then throw the skins down chutes to the hide section, where the Brits will be working today.
This is so fucked. They're like some
Oh, mate, that is wrong. It's chopping its head apart, man.
Welcome to hide section. Now you can see that hide is there, and we pick the hide from that point to here.
So here?
Yeah.
Okay.
And we trim first. We have to remove the tails and unnecessary parts of the hides. We remove here, and then we transfer from this point to the washing parts. We have about 150 hides here. Okay? Yeah, this blood is normal. You are in abattoir.
He wants us to do 150 for today. That's our target. It's difficult, man. Really is difficult. The stench, looking at things around you, things coming down chutes, having testicles, intestines thrown at you from different angles, it's just absolutely disgusting.
For me, this is like where my handbags come from, and this is literally where everything I buy comes from. And in a way, I sort of feel like as if, why should I have other people breaking their backs and dealing with this sort of shit so I can get a nice handbag at the end of it?
If I drag them to Sam, she cuts them, you two flip them, and you wash it.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah?
Yeah, that sounds
Sound
like
good?
Sounds like a plan.
Sure?
Yeah.
Come on.
Here's a little slippy.
Go, yeah.
Oh shit, it's well hot. What's that about? Oh, I got it. The hide was still really warm, as though like it'd just been cut off, so I got freaked out for a second then.
A truck is waiting to make a delivery to the local tanneries, who turn the hide into leather. The Brits must load 150 washed and trimmed hides onto this truck by the end of their shift.
Look at that. Like,
The meat's so fresh that it's still moving. You can actually
I hadn't even realised that.
I'm so glad that I'm not in a position where I have to do this every day. So how long have you worked here for?
28. Yes.
28 years?
Yes, yeah.
Bloody hell.
How old were you when you first started working here?
Oh
my gosh.
I can't get over the fact that people have got to do this every single day. I can't want to do this. Like, it's not a matter of choice. They have to put food on the table and they have to survive, and this is the only way to do it. Like, washing the dead skin of a cow.
1, 2, 3.
The Brits crack on and near the end of their target.
1, 2. Oh shit.
Last one, guys.
Ready, George?
Yeah, chop it up. I don't know.
Yeah. Come on, guys. Finally.
The group has finished the first stage of leather production.
I wouldn't say I've enjoyed it, and I wouldn't come back to it if I was given the choice. You know, what it has made me realise is that there's some really ugly jobs out there, and thankfully I'm in a position where I can choose whether or not I want to do it. And people who work in places like this don't.
4 days earlier, the Brits had begun their Ethiopian journey at a leather tannery.
I've kind of got it in my head that it's going to be like sort of like a factory line. And
yeah, me too.
It's going to be quick and it's going to be
Well,
hot,
yeah,
but it's not going to be
exactly.
like putting my back out.
Well, that's what's scaring me, is that I actually have no idea what it's going to be like.
The group are experiencing each stage of leather production.
It's going to be like a hot, smelly sauna filled with dead carcasses.
Oh.
This is the Barley Tannery. It takes in fresh animal hides from the abattoirs and turns them into high-quality finished leather.
It's like layers and layers of skin.
I feel like you're in an Alfred Hitchcock movie.
The tannery boss is 27-year-old Garan Nalbandian.
You're not cutting it properly because we're missing holes on this side.
Garan's great-grandfather came to Ethiopia from Armenia. His family has been running this tannery for over 20 years.
It's all about timing. We cannot afford to waste time in this place. If you muck up the time, you can lose up to $10,000 in 45 minutes. So when something is said, it has to be done. We're not here to have fun, you know?
Today, 6 young Brits will be joining Garan's workforce.
How are you guys doing? So this is Welcome to Ballet Tannery. Here we produce leather out of raw hides and skins. You can see that over there. That's what you guys are going to be doing. And so a lot of the stuff that you buy on your high street Italian designer labels, shoes, handbags, belts, etc., may have been sourced from our factory. We rely on hard work and teamwork, so you guys don't let me down. If you have any questions, you can ask me. So if you want, we can go inside and start getting changed for work, yeah?
Cool. Thank you very much.
You what?
As long as you don't see any live animals. Thank God.
Oh my God.
The Ballet Tannery can process over 800 cowhides a day.
We see no live animals. We just see the skins, which is so much
Still
better.
smell them though.
Oh, phew.
Here, hides are cleaned, tanned with chemicals, and then dyed. A finished piece of 6-foot square leather sells to local shoe factories for the equivalent of around 80 pence. The Brits will be working in the first stage of the tanning process. The daily delivery of 160 fresh hides has just arrived from the abattoir.
There's 34 hides over there. You want to weigh them, cut off any tails, any ears, and then you're going to offload about 100 hides from here, 100 from here. There's 34, you're going to put it in that paddle over there. Follow me. We need 130 hides to go in there.
Right, you just put them in that.
Yeah.
What does that do? Do we get gloves?
And washes it, and then you remove the hair.
Gloves?
Huh?
Do we get
No,
gloves?
not for the wash though. You get gloves for someone. It's not going to hurt your skin at all. It's just blood. Relax.
I'm looking forward to this, man. It's going to be quite good. Yeah.
Smells.
Let's do this shit. Like this? No problem.
Go. Keep going.
Just we'll put them all on, yeah?
Oh, I can't believe it.
Can I ask how recent are these skins? Like
12 hours.
12 hours. You've got any hooves? There's hooves over there. Soggy. It's soggy.
Anything to be cut?
I'm cutting out the rectum. Is this okay?
Yeah.
Can I do the next rectum?
The smell is so overpowering and just smells like a combination of old flesh and shit.
It's when you take a deep breath, it all goes in. And then you heave a little bit.
I mean, none of us want to be here, none of us really want to do it. And we're all getting a little bit ached out and can't wait to wash with hairy, slimy hands.
Handling raw animal hides is proving difficult for all the Brits, but especially vegan Oscar.
I don't personally know anybody who's a vegan. I've never met one. This is my first time. I don't really expect anybody to have any principles or... It's a job, you know? Don't worry, don't think about it, man.
Okay.
Seriously. You don't want to get too involved with the hide.
Don't think about it, make you do it.
Try and
But don't you cut?
crumple it up nicely.
Don't we have
and
to
hold on
look
to it
into
like this.
Okay.
Hold on to it, don't worry. It's okay, man.
You're fine. Just don't think about it.
Don't we have to look
Don't
at
think
it
about it,
to
mate.
see
You're all
what?
right.
20 minutes in, Oscar's had enough.
Oh, that reeks.
The stench is just lovely.
The smell just became a little bit too much, so having a little break.
20-year-old free spirit Oscar likes to stand out from the crowd.
My presence is often influential, funny, odd, but quite often contradictory.
But he doesn't like to play by the rules.
I was in every teacher's bad books, and that was probably because I was a joker.
At 17, Oscar dropped out of his A-levels.
I went to probably the most expensive school in the whole of the UK. We're talking, you know, tens of thousands of pounds. And I left after the first year. Didn't really have anything to show for it.
Despite his privileged background, Oscar is convinced he can handle life in Africa.
Although I haven't done that much physical hard work in this country, I'm sure that when I go to Africa, there'll be a sense of respect, commitment, and definitely a sense of, hey, you know, this is your life. I'm here to live it.
Oscar, do you want to come and give her a hand?
Apparently not.
After 45 minutes of work, Sam's had enough of Oscar's attitude.
No, it's just like not doing anything. I mean, none of them want to be here, none of them are enjoying it. I think that we need to have a chat, to be honest with me.
What, sorry? Whenever you speak to me, you never actually speak up. I'm not being rude, but just like speak louder and have some balls.
Right, do you want balls?
Yeah.
You're being a lazy shite.
Okay, so now you're swearing, it's fine. But like, don't say it just to be stronger. Just
And here we go
speak to me.
Again.
Speak to me and be direct with what you're saying. Just don't like mumble like, oh, I'm really frustrated. It's like, just say, look, Oscar.
Right, well, Oscar,
Okay,
if you
do
want
it.
me to speak like you,
Okay, that's
you're
better.
being an absolute brat. You're
Why?
standing around doing nothing. You're complaining about everything. Nobody's enjoying it. Nobody really wants to be here. Everybody thinks
But you
it's
eat
disgusting.
beef, don't you?
Do you think this looks like food?
Do you eat beef?
Does this look
Do
like
you
food?
eat beef?
Yes.
Exactly.
Does it
So
look
this
like
is a
food?
byproduct of the meat industry, which I've got nothing to do with.
Do you
so
think
have
we've
some
seen
respect.
It? Oscar, I think you should have some respect for us.
You, as well as a lot of other people, are to blame for this. So get on and
We're
do
to
it.
blame.
I don't feel guilty about you doing this.
We don't feel guilty. It's how people make their lives.
Go on
it's how
and
it goes on.
enjoy doing it. I don't enjoy doing it. so
None
I
of
don't
us
have
are
anything-
enjoying it, Oscar.
Well, you should actually accept the fact that this happens because of you.
Oscar, don't stand there and say we need to get more into it. We're getting into it. We've got into it. My issue is not with the lack of work you're doing.
What is it?
It's with your attitude.
Do you notice right now that I'm relaxed and you're not?
No, Oscar,
No.
you're up your own arse.
Call it up my own arse.
Oscar,
I'm relaxed.
Oscar.
I much prefer to be relaxed than like anal
But
like
Oscar,
you two.
actually, no, Oscar, I don't understand how for a moment here.
And now she's stressed out.
No, Oscar, I mean, you're just so incredibly unpleasant.
I'd much prefer to relax and just like not care about what you're saying. It's so boring.
Oscar, you're 20.
What?
Yeah, where did you get this attitude of like, I know everything about everything and I can
I
talk
don't
down
know
to...
everything about everything.
Well, then
All
you-
I know is that I don't enjoy this, so why am I having such
But
a hard time about it?
Oh, God, you're actually just so unpleasant. Please, just get away.
Do you know what? This is like... I'm not taking this seriously, like, I'm just joking. I don't like this. But everyone's getting like really anal, and I'm not being a part of it.
Everyone here is relying on this industry. It's their work every single day. And, you know, belittling us just because we're trying to get on with this job that we've been assigned. I mean, that's just so unnecessarily rude.
This is just the reality of how people live. It's not all like pretty buildings and people sitting behind offices. People have got to do hard, manual, disgusting jobs. But that's, you know, it benefits us in the long run, and we're all here because we want to understand how hard it is and how it works. But Oscar's grown up in this little world where, you know, Oscar's right and nothing can touch his little bubble, and, you know, I think he's scared now that the reality of it isn't like that.
The store manager would have fired him by now. We need to get the hides piled. It's as simple as that, man. We need to get the job done.
The Brits have finished their work in the rawhide section. Now they must tackle the next stage of production.
We're already running a bit late, so get your gloves on. We're going to offload the paddle, and then there's going to be two of you dragging the hides over here. Two of you are going to be on the trimming table, and two of you are going to be loading the elevator, right? And yeah, we need to finish this so that the tannage process doesn't run on until midnight, yeah?
Over 300 hides have been soaked in acid in these vats to remove the hair. These hides need to be retrieved, but there's only one way out.
It's going to blow any second now, man.
It's fucking vile.
That's not the nicest smell in the world, is it? Let's be honest. That's some calcium gushing out.
Scary when all this meat starts gushing towards you.
Totally, it's like a sea of...
Feels like a tsunami.
Yeah.
The Brits must collect all 300 hides and then prepare them for the next crucial stage of the tanning process. And they must do all of this by the end of the day.
Oh no, it's my boot. Oh, it's in my sock.
Despite giving up in the rawhide section earlier, Oscar has decided to get stuck into this next stage.
I still don't support the meat or the leather industry at all, but you know, everyone else is doing it. You know, it doesn't smell. I've got gloves on, so I've got no excuse.
In total, all these 300 hides weigh over 7 tons, and the temperature inside the tannery is over 90 degrees.
It's just really hot in here. Doing like physical activities and it's quite like hot outside and it's sort of there's no air conditioning, it just gets quite sweaty. All this hide down here, so much of it just makes me feel like I need to crack on and get going because I don't want to be here at midnight.
We need to be fast, yeah, the fleshers cannot stop, you have to move.
I don't know how they managed to scan and then cut in about the space of 15 seconds, but they do.
Two hours into the Brit shift, Oscar's had a rethink.
It just suddenly hit me. Look at what we're actually doing here to provide leather for someone's whatever, like shoes or like a handbag. Like, oh, big deal. These are cows' bodies. I can't begin to tell you how disgusting it is, and I'm not happy with it at all. I suppose that the reality of actually working with the skins of animals is harder than I first anticipated. So I made a mistake. I thought that I could handle it, and I can't.
Oscar decides to quit working at the tannery.
It's boring for me. It's not exciting. What's exciting for me is seeing everybody else trying to get on with my guys and work hard, you know? Somebody needs to do this job, and that's what we're here for.
After 3 more hours, the rest of the Brits finally finish fleshing all 300 hides.
Yeah, finally. But right now, I just really want to take a shower.
You want a shower, it's not bad, it's just minging.
The group have finished their spell of work at the tannery.
You know, they're working to survive. This was the only job available to them.
Yeah.
You know, so it's the fact that they don't have a choice. So it's not work to be enjoyed, it's work to get paid.
See you later, mate.
The house
Take care, man.
Straight back there, make one.
The Brits are living with local workers. When Alexandria and Sam get to their house, they're keen to find out why Oscar walked out of the tannery.
I thought everything was seemed to be going fine. You'd finish your job, and then next thing I know, you're leaving. And so what precipitated that?
Personally, I'm a vegan, but when it comes down to lives, animal lives, I just thought, I don't want to be a part of it. And you may well say it's just a byproduct.
I actually think it's quite clever in a way to use the skins of cows, which I believe would be killed anyway, for the consumption of meat.
Do you think that cows would be killed anyway?
Absolutely, certainly. Why? Well, because people eat meat.
And why do they eat meat?
Well, I don't know, that's a separate conversation.
Because meat's promoted.
Nice.
Because it's nice. Sorry, I'm going to have to copy you there. Because it's nice. What kind of rational decision is that?
All right, Oscar. You know, Oscar...
But I can't have a conversation with people that just don't have an IQ of, like, more than 70. It's ridiculous.
Oscar, that is just... I mean, that is actually...
Do you know what? I have to get a flight home. Really sorry, guys. I'm going. I want to call up my mum now. I'm going home. Sorry. I'm actually serious. Like, can I have the phone? Seriously, turn off. I'm going home. Sorry. I have been put into a situation with people that are very sweet. I love you to bits. I promise you. I'm not
haven't got an IQ
saying
over
that.
70.
I'm not saying that, and that was like a figure of speech.
First time I'd heard it.
But it's like, I eat meat because it's nice.
Well, I do
Oscar,
like meat.
And that's fine.
Oscar,
but
so
it doesn't support the way I feel.
Oscar, okay.
So, so what
but
kind
Oscar,
of...
not everything does support the way you feel. But that's why you have conversations about it. And you know full well, Oscar...
I'm going home! Woohoo!
Before you do, can we just have a chat, man?
I'm not here to talk to
Oscar,
people that really cannot do, like, their...
Oscar, well, OK, Oscar, darling.
And I don't want...
You know what,
the point
Oscar,
is...
You're talking to me now, and I can do an
The point is that I don't want to offend you, but I kind of am put into the position of having to.
You're put into a position where you're having to think beyond the level in which you're comfortable with. That's what you've got an issue with. And for the first time in your life, you're not being worshipped for what you think is an incredible intelligence, when in fact it's just an arrogant, superficial knowledge. And you're having to actually stand on your 2 feet and back up your arguments, which, by the way, are weak. Because if you had half the balls that you need to be able to back up the shit you're saying, then you'd stick around. And it may be that, like, you're not able to be so bold about how you feel about things, and that people are coming back with answers that you don't want or you don't expect or aren't things that you want to hear. But at the end of it, you know, you're going to go back home now and you're going to be, you know, you're going to be with what? Same to your easy system of life from before? Because I tell you, that's not very courageous.
I've never had a go at him for being a vegan. I've never rubbed the fact that I eat meat in his face. At the end of the day, leather's an industry. People eat meat. Just like we've accepted that you don't, you've got to kind of accept the fact that other people do. He's just, like, unlike anyone I've ever met in my entire life, and to be honest, I quite hope I don't meet anyone like him again.
19-year-old Geordie lass Sam has always been lacking in confidence.
I was at 5'3" when I was 7 years old, and I was huge. You know, kind of had, like, the crop hair and stuff. All the girls from my school were, like, girly girls, and then I was the ugly duckling.
Sam uses our Luxuries as a confidence booster, there's no doubt about that.
It will make you feel better about yourself and have a bit more confidence in things.
This gap year student finds her comfort close to home.
I've just always been in, like, Newcastle little bubble. I've had, like, the same group of friends from when I was little. It's all very much like Newcastle's its own little world.
Planning to go to uni, Sam is hoping this trip to Africa will broaden her horizons.
It'll be a big shock to her because she's quite naive and doesn't realise a lot of things.
I do get called Malteser by some of my friends, being blonde on the inside with the dark hair. I kind of just want to smash the stereotype that I've been labelled with. I'm looking forward to have the opportunity to kind of prove to everyone that I can do something like this.
Back at Ali's house, Sam talks to Oscar about his attitude.
You asked me, Alex, why is it we eat meat? I said, because it's nice, to me, there's no better reason to eat something other than to enjoy it.
As purely and as meaningfully as possible. I'm genuinely sorry. There are some times when I'm provoked and I do retaliate with words which are offensive, and I'm fully aware of my faults, and I want you to accept that sometimes I slip up.
If you don't like the answer to your question that I'm going to provide you with, that's your own problem. You deal with that in your own way. You don't jump off the gun, start having a go at someone, personally attacking someone, when I'd had nothing to say that whole conversation. And for me, it's completely ruining my experience. So thank you for apologising, but I'd rather just not have anything to do with you from now on, because I think that we'll rub each other up the complete wrong way, and there's no hard feelings. I just think it's probably best for everyone concerned if we don't speak.
I'm sorry you can't forgive people. I don't know, I think I'm amazing in so many different ways, but, like, I'm not perfect. And maybe this is, like, a lesson for me to understand people's emotions more.
Today, the Brits are moving on to a different side of Ethiopia's leather industry. Despite yesterday's arguments, Oscar has decided to stay. The group are now heading 60 kilometres to the capital, Addis Ababa. They're due to start work in one of the country's major shoe factories.
I think it'll be one big massive production line, to be honest. I think someone's going to be doing one job and then it sort of goes along and someone does another job and someone does another job till you get to the end product.
They'll be working to deadlines and targets as well. So yeah, we'll definitely be regimented, I think.
I wouldn't really care about working in a shoe factory if we were making, like, the most incredible shoes.
Absolutely, but they're blatantly not going to be making, like, nice shoes. They're going to be making, like, flats.
World-class shoes.
OK Jamaica shoes use leather from local tanneries like the one the Brits have been working in.
Let's go make
That's
some
like George as well
shoes.
trying to get with me.
Waiting to meet them is factory boss Fakadu Tesfaye.
Welcome to Ethiopia and Jamaica Shoe Factory. Thank you very much for your coming. Jamaica Shoe Factory is one of the best quality shoe producer in Ethiopia. So we produce per day 800 pair of shoes. We export across the world, Africa, American, and Europe also. So we expect from you quality shoes to produce. Okay, cool. Okay, guys. Okay. Let's go to the production manager, and he will explain more, introduce about how you produce everything. Okay? Yeah, cool. Okay, come on. Okay.
This factory employs over 100 locals who make 250,000 pairs of OK Jamaica's own brand shoes every year. The factory's shoes are exported all over the world. To guarantee high quality, discipline has to be strict. It's production manager Lema Masracha's job to ensure it is. Lema is now also in charge of the Brits. He leads them straight to the training room.
እዚህ ስንሰራ የተወሰኑ የፋብሪካው የራሱ የሆኑ ህጎች አሉት። ስትገቡ እንዳያችሁት አብዛኛው ሰራተኛ ስራ ላይ ነው ያለው። ማንኛውም ሰራተኛ ያለ ስራ ከቦታ ቦታ መንቀሳቀስ አይፈቀድለትም። ፕሮዳክሽን ሩም ውስጥ ማንኛውም ሰራተኛ ማውራት አይፈቀድለትም። ስለዚህ እዚህ ያለውን ትሬኒንግ ጨርሳችሁ ወደ ታችኛው የምርት ክፍል ወርዳችሁ ለመስራት የራሳችሁን ጥረት ይጠይቃል። በርታችሁ መስራት አለባችሁ።
No slacking off, basically.
No talking.
Thank you.
Let's start, man. Let's get on.
Let's get cracking.
Okay.
In 1 hour, their stitching skills will be tested on leather. First, the Brits must get to grips with the sewing machines.
1, 2, 3, stop it.
First. This is the most mind-numbing activity ever. It's like watching paint dry.
I'll do it.
Only those who show the best ability will make it onto the live stitching lines, the most prestigious and highly paid job in the factory.
It's very hard to hit the right spot.
Never used a sewing machine before in my life. Because I can get the lines done and everything, I can go at a steady pace, but they're on a diagonal, which isn't going to get us downstairs.
Yeah, straight.
Okay.
This is not good, this is not good.
Okay.
That last line there tells the story of how good I am. Am I the best? Am I the best?
After the test.
I'm doing it one-handed because I'm just so damn good. As you can see, I'm the bomb.
Oscar's attitude doesn't go unnoticed by production manager Lema.
Stop. እንዳሰራር የተሰጠውን ነገር በትክክል ራን ማያረግ ከሆነ እንደዚህ የሚሰራ ከሆነ ምንም አያረግልኝም እኔ እንደ ስራ ምክንያቱም ሰዓቴን ነው ማባከነው እዚህ ከሱ ጋር ሰዓት ማባከን የለም
I was told to do straight lines and I did a circle. I don't think it's the end of the world. I wouldn't do it if it was on leather because I'm not an idiot, but maybe he thinks I am an idiot. I don't know. I don't believe I have to be told to do everything. I wasn't told to breathe when I came in here.
ጥያቄው ይሄንን ነገር በትክክል መስራት እስከቻለ ድረስ ኦርደር ነው እንደዚህ አርገ ስራ ኦርደር ነው በቃ ይሄ ትዕዛዝ ነው በዚህ መልኩ ስራ ቅድምም ነግረነዋል ምንም የሚለው ነገር እንደማይረዳ ነው ለኔ የሚገባኝ ስለዚህ አሁን ቀጣይ ስፌት ስራ ትሬንድ እንዲያደርግ አልፈቅድለትም ኦስካር ቢሮ አንድ ጊዜ ፈልጋለሁ ቢሮ እንዳነጋግር ፈልጋለሁ
If the Brits don't toe the line in this factory, they will face the exact same consequences as the local workers.
ሌላው ለመክር የምፈልገው ነገር ምንድነው በምንም አይነት መልኩ ይሁን በምንም አይነት መልኩ አንድ ወታደር በውትድርና ህግ የፕሮዳክሽን ስራም እንደዛ ነው የተሰጠው መመሪያ በተሰጠው መሰረት መፈጸም የመጀመሪያው ህግና ደንብ ነው
He says that in a factory it's like a military camp. You have to follow every order. My response is I completely understand that.
ሱፐርቫይዘሩ አሁን ይመጣል እሱ የሚመድብህ ቦታ ላይ ሆነህ ስራዎችን በአግባቡ መስራት አለብህ
If local workers don't respect the factory rules, they are demoted to lower status and lower paid jobs. Oscar has been moved to the lacing department. Here, the unskilled workers are placed. These locals must tie laces on hundreds of pairs of shoes, 8 hours a day, 6 days a week.
I think that the rules need to exist, I just don't have a passion to follow them. Maybe because my life doesn't depend on sticking to the rules.
While Oscar carries on lacing, the rest of the Brits have a chance to prove their stitching skills. Those who do well in this assessment will move one stage nearer to the live stitching lines.
I'm so determined. I've never been so determined in my life.
I just want to make sure I do this really well because I'm actually quite enjoying it.
I'm doing crap, so I don't think I'll be passing this exam.
I knew I was going to get the part. Just can't do this.
After 10 minutes, it's time to have their efforts reviewed.
It was appalling. It was absolutely appalling.
ስለዚህ ይሄ ማለት ደግሞ እናንተ ባላችሁ ችሎታ ይሄን ሁሉ ሰዓት አቃጥለን ወደ ስፌት ክፍል ወርዳችሁ ስፌት መስራት አትችሉም ሌሎች ስራዎችም በጣም ኢምፖርታንት ናቸው ነገር ግን የስፌት ስራን ለየት የሚያደርገው ደንበኞች ጫማ ሲያነሱ መጀመሪያ ሁላችሁም ሱቅ ገብታችሁ ስታነሱ ጫማ መጀመሪያ የምታዩት ስፌቱን ነው እኔን ስላችሁ በጣም አዝናለሁ ነገር ግን እናንተ ከተለየ ቦታ መምጣታችሁ ወይም የእንግሊዝ ተወላጆች መሆናችሁ እዚህ ጋር ምንም አይነት በአሰራሩ ላይ የሚለውጠው ለውጥ የለም እንደማንኛውም እዚህ እንደሚሰራው ሰራተኛ ከዚህ በኋላ ያለውን እድገት ልሰጣችሁ አልችልም ለኔ አሁን ምንም የሚያስደስተኝ ስራ አይደለም ስራው በሙሉ ልክ አይደለም
I don't see why you should have a problem with it. Okay, I didn't finish it, but the stitching is completely on the line, on every single line. Maybe I just didn't work fast enough, never mind. But these things happen, don't it, I suppose?
Well, I've got to do what I've got to do, and if it takes a whole other day to learn how to do it straight, then I'll take a whole other day to learn how to do it straight. You know, it's tough shit, part of the job.
The Brits will have to practice more tomorrow if they're to ever stand a chance of making it onto the live stitching line. Oscar, meanwhile, has been down on the lacing line all afternoon.
It's quite amazing how much work goes into just one pair of shoes. I think it's safe to say that I know how to tie my shoelaces.
Only now do the Brits find out who they're living with for the next few days. The boys are staying with production manager Lemma.
Do you live in quite a big place?
No, small place.
Small place?
Small place.
Oh, right.
Very small place.
Yeah? Oh, that's cool, that
one. 2 times this guy.
Really? That's all right, though. We'll get to know each other very well then.
The girls walk the short distance to factory worker Freyut's home. 18-year-old Freyut's mother died when she was 8. She came to Addis Ababa looking for work 2 years ago and has lived alone since.
Is this your place?
Yeah.
Ooh, comfy bed. Oh, I like it. Take a seat.
Are all of your things in this room?
Only as you know, Sarah. Wow. This isn't just Freya's room, this is Freya's whole house. All in one very, very small room without a window. I mean, it's quite a big one to swallow.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it's just weird to think that, like, after you've left work, you come back and this quite confined space is, like, where you relax, where you unwind. This is where you have fun. This is...
Where you get ready for work.
This is your little, very, you know, it's a bit... It feels practically claustrophobic to think of it in that respect.
It just feels like a garden shed, and I feel quite sorry for her.
On the other side of town, The boys arrive at Lemma's family home.
So smells good.
Lemma lives in a basic compound with his wife, 2 young kids, his mother and father, and nearly 20 extended family members.
I'm James. Hello. I'm James. Nice to meet you.
Naturally, space is limited, so the boys are sharing a room.
This is the bedroom.
Yeah. Oh, sick.
Shotgun the top bunk.
Shotgun middle.
Shotgun the bottom. No, I want middle, actually.
No, I said middle.
No, I don't know.
Who sleeps here normally?
Normally, my daughter
Okay.
and my brothers.
Cool, cool.
While George and James get to know the relatives and neighbours,
You've got a big family around here.
Yeah.
Everyone's like a close, big family.
Yeah.
Oscar and Lemma have a one-to-one chat.
Bless it.
How I was spoken to today, I haven't been spoken to like that by anyone else apart from my mum. And that was years and years ago, maybe if I'd done something terrible. And to be spoken to like that for not getting a line right or making a circle in a bit of paper, when I put it into context, I just thought, hang on, this is crazy, and I didn't take it seriously at all.
እኛ ሀገር ውስጥ ባለ የአኗኗር ሁኔታ ብዙ ቤተሰብ ከዝቅተኛው ቤተሰብ ክፍል የሚወጣ የህብረተሰብ ክፍል ይበዛበታልና ከህብረተሰቡ ተቀባይነት ስለማይኖረው ብዙ ጊዜ ኑሮው ያው በጎዳና ተዳዳሪነት ጥሩ ባልሆነ ህይወት ውስጥ ያሳልፍና ላይፉ ወይም ህይወቱ የተበላሸ ስለሚሆን እንደዚህ አይነት ነገሮች በእኛ ሀገር ላይ አማራጭ በሌለበት
I understand. So if you were an Ethiopian and you had behaved the way I had behaved today, you'd be in an enormous risk of actually alienating yourself completely from society, which would be so dangerous. Because if you didn't have support from your family and from society and from the community that you've grown up with, then, you know, you'd probably die. It's about the essence of kind of complying. So we're going to start again, and I'm going to do my best, and it's all happy.
Thank you.
Amasakanalo. Okay. Okay.
Back with Freud, the girls are trying to understand how she gets by.
How much do you get paid in the factory?
280.
Is that enough to live on? Like, what do you spend your money on?
የቤት ኪራዩ 200 ብር ከዛ ከፍልና ከዛም በኋላ በተረፈው ለምግብ በቃ ሌላ ምንም እንደውም አይተርፈኝም ሁላ
So she's on £14 a month. 10 of that goes on rent, so she's got £4 a month to live off.
She's younger than us.
It's so depressing. It's like, you know, when they say that, like, a lot of people who put in bad situations have their childhood robbed from them. Well, that's what I feel right now. It's like, when you're 18, you say we're not thinking about where your next meal comes from. Like, she's got her survival on her shoulders. Like, literally.
Yeah. She did shit, man. She's an absolute... I don't know how she's going to do it. It's awful the fact that she sat there every day, day in, day out, making shoes, which the product that she makes in the end is actually worth more than her.
£4 versus a pair of shoes which you're going to pay like 70, 60 quid in England. I mean, 4 quid would buy that on a coffee.
Yeah.
I mean, what would she do? What would she do if she could touch like half of the amount of money those shoes are sold for in England? I mean, it would change her life completely.
Absolutely.
And, you know, you buy them, it changes your evening, your day maybe. And that's it, it's crazy.
Speaking for myself, I really didn't have a clue it was going to be this bad.
Everyone we've met so far has had no choice. And nor does it look like they're ever going to have a choice. And it's horrible being here because you just feel so stuck in a rut. So stuck in a rut, and it's incredibly depressing.
She doesn't know whether or not she's going to be able to get by this month and what's going to happen afterwards if she can't. And I'm going to find... I mean, I know I'm only going to be here for, like, a couple of nights, but I'm going to find it all harder to kind of leave, thinking, like, what am I leaving here to? She doesn't know, I don't know, nobody knows what's going to happen. The worst thing is that she's not the only one, she's not a special case.
I find it really, like like emotionally dim because thing is like because I've got like 3 sisters who I really care about. A single mum and stuff. Like I've always felt very close to women, and like I've always wanted to really be able to feel like even if you're a woman, like you've always got like a community. And the fact that Freya, like, you know, she's so alone and she's got so nobody, or she's already lived 50 times more than what I've lived.
It's 6 a.m. and the Brits set off for their second day at the shoe factory. But having learned that Freyut is only on a basic survival wage, Alexandria and Sam want to confront the boss, Mr. Tesfaye.
The girl that we've been staying with, she lives alone. She gets paid 280 birr a month. She pays 200 birr a month for a rent, and that gives her 80 birr to live off a month. Do you think that the minimum wage that you're paying is enough for people to get by?
We cannot get enough profit or enough money. Maybe we get from one shoes is maximum 10 birr. Maximum. Less than £1 is our profit. We export 8 pounds.
Do you know how much those shoes are sold on for in the shops?
So it's around 120, is more than $100.
Over $100.
Which is 80 pounds.
Yeah. Does it make you angry that the West come over here and buy shoes here for £8, sell them for 10, 12 times the price in our countries, and Ethiopia, who are making these shoes, make absolutely no money out of it? You make £8, your workers make less, and the West are doing all of this so they can make a massive profit and a huge amount of money out of your poverty.
Always they say, the price is expensive. China is more cheaper than yours. So how can we compete? We have to live to survive. We have to survive.
With no option of higher wages, the girls want to find out how Freyut can improve her personal situation.
Freya, obviously you're working here now, but the pays are very good. And what do you want to do in the long term? What is it ideally that you would do?
እኔ ትምህርት መማርና ምግብ ዝግጅት ብማር ደስ ይለኛል እና በጣም ደስ የሚለኝ ምግብ ዝግጅት ብመረቅ ደስ ይለኛል። ደረጃውን አልሄድኩኝማ በትምህርት ደረጃ አሁን እንዳልማር ማለት ነው። በትምህርት ደረጃ አልሄድኩኝም።
Is there anything you can do to change that though, so you could get the grades to be a chef? Could you do night classes or could you go back to school?
የለኝም በቃ እኔ በስራ ጉዳይ ነው እንደገና ደግሞ ብር ለማግኘት ነው እንጂ እማራለሁ በጣም ፈልጋለሁ ትምህርት።
Despite the fact that she would like to be able to train to become a chef, she can't, simply because she just hasn't got enough education behind her, and she can't get that education even now. If she wanted to, she was prepared to do evening classes because she can't afford them.
It's something we can do something about though.
Exactly.
Like I really think we need to. I think she needs a break. I think she's had a tough life, and I think it's time for her to get a bit of freedom.
Yeah, it would be absolutely nothing for us to pay for this for her, and it would make such a huge difference to her whole life.
It'd be like £15 each.
Whatever it's going to be, I think it's well worth it. 50 quid each is still worth it. I mean, it's nothing. You spend that on a night out, and and imagine this, not just like the feeling afterwards, like thinking that we would be able to help someone.
How much,
and how much it can mean to her.
And I'd rather leave Ethiopia here with a bit of peace of mind rather than leaving and thinking, oh my God, where the hell is that girl?
Back in the factory's training room, it's the Brits' final chance to impress. After their conversation last night, Oscar's keen to show he can improve his attitude.
I'm determined to prove that I can do straight lines.
Oscar, ዛሬ የሰጠሁት ሁለተኛ ቻንስ ነው። ሁለተኛ ቻንስ መሆኑ ሶስተኛ ቻንስ ማለት ነው። ትናንትና አንድ ቻንስ ሰጥቼው አበላሽቷል። አሁን እንደገና ሁለተኛ ቻንስ ነው፣ ሶስተኛ ቻንስ ማለት ትችላለህ። ስለዚህ የሚሰራው መስመሩን ተከትሎ ሴንተር ላይ ነው።
Lemma will only allocate jobs on the highly paid stitching lines to the Brits with the very best sewing skills. But after another hour's practice, not everyone is deemed good enough to move up.
George, office anagrahalo.
George is demoted to the cutting department. Lucy's taken to the toe protector section, while Alexandria and Sam join Freyout on polishing and lacing.
But I'm quite glad that I'm doing it as well because it's what Freyout does.
Only James and Oscar are left in the training room.
Oscar, ትላንትና ልክ በጣም የዚህን ያህል ጥረት ብታረግ ኖሮ ዛሬ በጣም 100% በጣም ጥሩ ትሰራ ነበረ። ዛሬ እንዳጀማመር ጥሩ ነው የሄድከው።
He's very impressed with me and that I've compensated for yesterday's upset.
So impressed is Lemma with Oscar's sewing that along with James, he's moving him to the most prestigious job in the factory, the live stitching line.
Doesn't want any mistakes, so just the real thing. We're not in the training room anymore, so everything counts. Yeah.
Here, they will stitch insoles for trainers which are exported to the West.
In 1 hour, I need to do 60 pairs. So it's one of these every 30 seconds.
Stitching is the most highly skilled and highly paid line in the factory. Every mistake here costs the factory bosses money.
That one's rubbish. Not good.
It's very difficult to keep on target. Very difficult.
ጀምስ አሁንም ማስተዋል አለባችሁ እያንዳንዱ ፒስ 1 ብር ከ50 የሚወጣበት ነው ስለዚህ በጥንቃቄ መስራት አለባችሁ ይሄ 1 ብር ከ50 ደግሞ በእያንዳንዱ ሲተነትነው ዛሬ ራሱ የሚከፈላችሁ አይሸፍነው
Okay, that's absolutely fine. No problem.
ኦስካር እዚህ ጋር ቆሜ ማየሁት ስራ እነዚህ ሁለቱ ነገሮች ሌላውን ነገር ትቼ እነዚህ ሁለቱ ነገሮች በጣም ጥሩ ስራዎች ናቸው በጣም እጅግ በጣም ነገር ግን ሁሉንም እንዲህ ብትሰራ በጣም ደስ ይለኝ ነበር
At the very beginning, I was the worst. I was punished by going somewhere else, and it was clear that at the beginning I really had a lot of work to do. And then after a long chat back at his house, I decided to put a new attitude on. And it's nice to know that I've got now one of the best jobs in the factory and I've mastered it.
With their shift over, the Brits are paid. For 8 hours work, they receive 13 birr or 60 pence, a basic living wage in Ethiopia.
I don't understand because people are living on this, I think, just about, but I can't imagine being able to afford rent and food.
Everything about living here, living standards, being able to live a good quality of life is virtually impossible because this is a good job and it's paying this. I mean, you can't live on 13 birr. Everything is so expensive.
The girls go back for their last night with Freyout.
We had a chat, the three of us, and we felt like we wanted to do something to help you.
We, really feel attached to you since being here, and we want to give you that opportunity. So we would like the three of us to be able to pay for you to go to night school so you're able to complete your education.
እኔ በጣም ደስ ብሎኛል። በርግጥ እኔ እነሱን አገኛለሁ ብዬ አላሰብኩም ነበር፣ ግን አግኝቻችሁ እኔ ስለከረዱኝ በቃ ደስ ብሎኛል እጅግ በጣም። እንደውም ለትምህርቴም እነሳሳለሁ ከፍላጎት ይኖረኛል።
From all three of us, that's the money for the next 5 years of your education.
This money's the equivalent of just £50, but it will help Freyout complete her schooling.
It's yours. Okay? Come on. okay? Yeah. You alright? Yes.
No, like, it's our pleasure, you know? It's an opportunity that you deserve, and we want you to be able to make the most out of your life from now on.
እኔ እንጃ በቃ ደስ ብሎኛል እጅግ በጣም አልጠበኩኝም።
We're sisters now.
Yeah. Stop it. Because you're going to make us 3 start.
You know, it's like giving someone a break who's never had a break.
Yeah.
You know, it's like really like someone who's never had, like never been given an opportunity, and just being able to do that and think that like just because of us coming here and spending a couple of nights with her, she will be able to, you know, really change her life around.
To be able to be in our position and we're only a year older than her, it just shows how lucky we are and that we can also give it back to someone who really needs it.
Yeah.
Even if when we get back from over here and you know we don't manage to change the world and people carry on being exploited and everyone in the UK still stays completely ignorant to the fact, just knowing that we've changed one person's life for the better as massively as that and dramatically as that, it to be honest with me, it's made the whole thing worth it.
Next time, as we drink ever more cappuccinos and lattes, the Brits travel to the remote south of Ethiopia to discover how coffee is produced.
It's just like completely stepping into another world.
They must fend for themselves in an isolated African village.
I'm trying to cook, but it's a nightmare.
And take on board a new arrival.
Hi! Yeah, I'm Siobhan.
How will they feel when they discover the true cost of a cup of coffee?
It's just a nightmare. I could never ever live like this.
See the guys tackle the coffee industry in brand new Blood, Sweat and Luxuries next Tuesday at 9. Some really interesting issues were brought up in the show tonight. We'd love to hear what you think, so get involved in our debate. Just go online to the BBC Three website and click blog.